You know, I gotta tell you, there's always a certain kind of feeling that you get here in the Meadowview Arena when a showcase MMA bout is lined up. Before that first fight lines up, the intro music walks out. I don't know about you guys, but as a fan, this is one of the best points of the night because you know the action's just about to get started. So many times the first fight of the night can set the tone for all the ones to follow.
Undoubtedly, and right here we have a great matchup from two very good teams, both traveling in. Jacob Nathanson fighting out of UFC Gym in Greenville, South Carolina, and then Josh Frost representing North Georgia Hyaston, and that's, of course, right there on the fringe of Chattanooga, Tennessee. So, man, what a matchup this is going to be, and I'm excited to see how these two contrasting teams pair up because it's not normally a matchup that you'll see.
That's right, you know, and I want to say a big thanks before we get started to Dalton Goins for coming and joining us tonight. Dalton, I've had the honor of calling, 6, 7 of your fights, maybe more, so it's really cool to have you bring your expertise here to the broadcast booth. Looking forward to getting your insight and thoughts on some of the fights here tonight.
And there you see Jacob Nathanson being attended there. Justin Brown here in the house, president of Gamma, which is doing so much around the world as far as amateur mixed martial arts is concerned.
That's right, really need to have that presence here. All right, Jacob Nathanson, 135 pounds, big hugs from the UFC Gym, Greenville crew. And I know he's excited about coming in here and doing his thing. He takes on Josh Frosh. Getting a little chat from Ladies Love, Nate Jolly. And let's go ahead and send it right back up to Jennifer.
And his opponent making his way to the cage. Please welcome Josh Frosh.
All right, Josh Frosh, North Georgia Hyaston. Lead-off batter here tonight. 135 pounds.
And there you see it.
Got a stone-faced look on him.
You see David Lewis, a professional MMA fighter there in his corner, his teammate, and then Nalo Lechuga. This is a guy, his coach there. This is a group of guys that's been around in Tennessee MMA for a long time.
All right, tail of the tape, you see Jacob Nathanson, 29, Josh, 30. Same height, give or take an inch. 134 pounds for Nathanson, 136 for Josh Frosh. All told, we've got about the equal dimensions here.
There
Very good on the pronunciation, by the way. I think you nailed that one. That's a hard one.
And there you see Josh Frosh making his way inside the cage.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are moments away from action here at Showcase MMA 29. Fight number 1 coming live. Let's go up to Jennifer.
This bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. First, to my left, fighting out of the Zarate Shop blue corner. He weighed in at 134 pounds. Fights out of UFC Gym in Greenville, South Carolina, Jacob Nathanson. And his opponent across the cage to my right, fighting out of the Gold Spectrum CBD red corner. He weighed in at 136 pounds. And fights out of North Georgia Hyaston, Josh Frush. Your referee when the action begins is Nate Jolly.
All right, here we go. Jacob Nathanson in the black shorts, red gloves with the blue trim. His opponent, Josh Frosh, in the red and black shorts.
Ready?
Round 1 underway, 135 pounds of mixed martial arts action. Here we go. Man, Josh Frosh dancing around quick. Jacob Nathanson closing the distance.
Big head and arm and then a reversal.
Wow, I don't think Frosh was expecting that when he did the hip toss. Jacob Nathanson rolling right with it, now having top control. And Josh Frosh looking for a way to create some space here. Good job pulling the guard now. Jacob Nathanson swinging from the top. Postured up, Frosh back to his feet. Nathanson giving him no space.
Good up and down, though, from Josh Frosh.
Yes.
Not allowing Nathanson to keep him down.
Yeah, Josh Frosch doing everything he can to try to get some space. Good knee to the body from Frosch. Nathanson just relentless with the pressure. And you got to think coming into this that, you know, you look at this sort of game plan, Nathanson giving absolutely no space. This is a type of wrestler mentality.
Well, you saw right there, Frosch practically pulling guard here. You see in a half butterfly position as Nathanson postures up there on top, looking for that ground and pound, landing a few shots, and he advances into the mount and to rear mount.
Man, Frosch is scrambly. You know, he's been in a couple of bad positions and managed to get out of all of them. Now he's in a guillotine, or he's got at least has one arm in there. Oh, this could be bad for Frosch. His neck is turning in a bad kind of way. Looks like he's got the bicep at the back of the neck. Frosch doing a good job of posturing up, just giving himself a couple of millimeters of space there. Nathanson might be committed to this. You can't tell. It looks like he wants it.
He's got one arm underneath the chin. He's got to be able to get that grip underneath the arm.
Yeah, I don't think it looked like he's in danger of finishing. Frosch looks like he's pretty aware. Doesn't appear to be in much danger. I mean, yeah, you can see the wince. We see him wincing here, but that's normally what happens when someone cuts their wrist up under your neck like that. Even if they're not choking you, it hurts.
Well, you saw Frosch pushing him towards the cage. That's going to make it more difficult for Nathanson to extend his hips, looking for that guillotine. Now, Nathanson needs to be careful that he doesn't blow out that arm.
Yep.
But he might be close here.
Because right now it's just a one arm. You know, he's got it like Dalton said, he's got to get that second arm in there and lock those hands. But he looks like this is something that he's looking over. You can tell he's looking over at his coaches, trying to figure out the best way. I think Frosch is going to pop out of this instead. Or at least stay safe.
Yeah, now you see Frosch reaching up to the wrist, trying to defend. I would have been doing that from the start. Nathanson has been able to work this in.
Frosch's face is getting pretty red. He is wincing. We're over here saying that Nathanson doesn't have it locked, but man, Frosch looks like he is in pain.
14 seconds left in this first round.
All right, there's the
Will.
click letting you know you're almost out of here. Yeah, first round in the books, and it was a good one. You know, Nathanson closed the distance immediately and never gave his opponent even an inch to breathe.
Undoubtedly. And, you know, here we go. We can take a look at what was happening here. You see right out of the gate, Frosch throwing, Nathanson locking up, and then right here you see Frosch, big head and arm slam, but then the reversal. And it continued from here, very back and forth, until ultimately we saw Josh Frosch on top, caught in that guillotine for about the last minute of this round.
Yeah, if I'm a judge, it's hard for me to give that one to Josh Frosch. You know, he came out strong, furious, violently, but Nathanson just had that body lock on him and never seemed to let go, and it was all Nathanson after that. You made a good point, Casey, about the guillotine not working. How many times have we seen a guy lock that thing in for a whole round, then come out the next one and barely able to move his arms?
Undoubtedly, man. It will blow your arms out. It can very easily do that. Same thing for the triangle choke. I've seen guys go after that triangle, almost have it in the round, and they can barely stand up, so you really have to watch.
All right, round two. Let's see if we see a similar repeat of what we saw in round one. Frosch a little more measured with his strikes. Lands a couple of good ones. Nathanson just trying to get in, and he does. Frosch now pushed away, got some distance. Clubbing right hand from Frosch, sneaks over the top.
But keeping those hands low.
Yeah, very low. Extremely low.
We used to call that bringing it from Jonesboro.
And Nathanson now got that distance covered.
But look here, controlling the wrist, the far side wrist is Frosch, and that is a great control, and now getting the takedown.
That was a great takedown.
But
not sure Nathanson saw that one coming. Back to his feet. Now Frosch doing a good job of dictating where this fight goes. Got the seatbelt over him and sort of just stopping his right arm from moving anywhere. Good positioning by Josh Frosch here. Now he's the one on top, telling his opponent where this fight's going to take place.
Yeah, and I believe he still has that right wrist control, and that's a big deal because it can open him up.
He does, yeah. He's still got that right wrist. That's why he let go, but that helped him get where he was. Nathanson just trying to get back to his feet. He does. Right hand.
Oh, big shot!
Frosch is in trouble.
There he goes!
Nate Jolly getting close. This one might be over. Can Nathanson finish the deal? Wow, I think Frosch might have collected himself some more time here in this round 2.
But he's in a tough spot here. You see Nathanson, knee on belly, looking to advance, now in the mount position.
I tell you what, we'll learn a lot about Josh Frosch right here. This is where you have to dig deep. You have to pull somewhere from some place that you never should have to go to when you're mounted, and it's 60 seconds left in the round. You've just been knocked down. This is where Josh Frosch needs to pull out all the stops.
Well, you see there, Frosch not bridging, not moving, but at the same time, Nathanson unable to really open up. If he were to raise up and really start that barrage, we could see a finish here. 40 seconds left in this second round.
You think Nathanson might try a little bit of, some more urgency here to try to posture up. I know he's being held, so that's one thing. But it's easier to say posture up and throw than it is to actually posture up and throw. But these rabbit punches from the bottom aren't doing much damage.
Here we go. Look at this. Frosch trying to lock up something, maybe like an arm triangle from bottom. It's very hard to make something like that work, but maybe trying to use it for a bridge. Again, Nathanson landing those left hands to the body. I don't think that's going to be enough to get the stoppage.
Yeah, not enough to convince Nate Jolly that this fight needs to stop. And, Nate Jolly is the kind of guy that's going to give you some time, but if you're taking too much damage, he's going to call it on you. Right now, right there, Josh Frosch wasn't taking that much damage. He did a good job of, here's the knockdown. I mean, that left hook was the one that knocked him down, but he caught him on the right before that. He gets down, throws some good punches, but right here, he never really postures up from here. At this moment where Frosch gets that right hand over the back of his neck, he held him tight.
Well, this is
survived.
First fight, adrenaline has dumped. You have no idea until you get in there. Sometimes your body just doesn't move. Now, we saw that footage, but prior to that, Josh Frosch was in total control.
Yeah.
He had the top position. He was controlling wrist control, landing a lot of shots, and it could be that he blew himself up because as soon as they stood up, he took that hard shot and he hit the deck. So very interesting. It could be Jacob Nathanson up 2 rounds to nothing just because I believe he may have stolen it there.
One of the biggest things that Casey teaches at our gym is continue to fight, punch off the clinch or whatnot. Nathanson did exactly that, and that what causes him to catch Frosch at the end of that round.
Yeah, great point. Nathanson was relentless with his pressure. Even in the bad situations, he was there. I think Casey Oxidine, you may be right. 2 rounds to 0. Jacob Nathanson, not a judge, but that's what it looks like from our standpoint. Let's see how Josh Frosch decides to finish this one.
Oh, look at that, landing that kick. Frosch now raises those hands up, but then right back down by his waist. It's so dangerous to keep those hands low.
Frosch might need to be careful. He's got his mouth wide open.
Both of these guys, again, their first bout. They've been through a war. Again, you have no idea what it's like to be under the lights for the first time. Giving it their all, props to both of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just for putting it on the line.
Oh, here we go. Getting the takedown is Jacob Nathanson.
Inside control.
2 minutes left to go here in round 3. Been sort of an even round so far. Nathanson now in sort of a half-top control. Josh Frosch has got Nathanson kind of a Bush League headlock here. And he's using it to get posted up. And Nathanson back on top. Nathanson doing a good job controlling the hips of Josh Frosch here in side mount. Not the most active side mount, but still using his knee to control the hips and just not letting him go anywhere. He control it, right knee on the shoulders, looking to pass. Frosch doing a good job of stopping the pass. And now Nathanson back into a side mount. Casey Oxendine, a renowned black belt. What does Josh Frosch do here to scurry out of this side mount?
Man, I think a lot of this has to do with fatigue. He's unable to move. And again, Nathanson unable to really open up and pressure. Like I said, I think there's fatigue setting in there. I think Frosch, though, he needs to bridge. It looks like he's trying to connect and get into that guard, but really he's going to need more than that. He needs to get up and try to land some heavy leather and maybe steal the round. But it may be fleeting here with 40 seconds left in this fight. Look at that, a transition.
Yep, good job trying to at least escape from there. But now Nathanson is very top heavy. You can tell Nathanson's a top heavy kind of fighter, just from the pressure he's been able to put on Josh Frost here tonight.
With that said, very evenly matched. Both of these guys having their moments in this bout.
Yep. Great first fight here so far to start the evening off. We've got a few seconds left here in round 3. Josh Frost looking to get out from underneath Jacob Nathanson, who's probably content to hold this one until that bell rings. And he passes the mount right before the bell rings. If there was any cherry on top that needed to be placed, it was that final mount pass there at the end. I think safe to say this one's probably a unanimous decision for Jacob Nathanson.
If I was a judge and I had to score that, I'd have it 30-27 for Nathanson. Frost had his good moments or whatnot. I think Nathanson had most of the control. He got the reversals, he got the takedowns. I think Frost was a little bit better stand-up, but once you get on the ground, if you're not getting up off your back, you're gonna lose the round. There's no real urgency from Frost to get up.
And a lot of these things are coachable. You know, starting off an MMA career, there's all sorts of, you know, mental errors that can be made. Even when you're playing the game at the highest level, you make mental errors. And it's really awesome to see some of these guys work their way up the ladder and get better over time. And we've seen that happen right here in Showcase many times. Let's go ahead and send this up to, well, actually, we're going to wait. Jennifer's still collecting the scorecards. Excuse me. All right. I think the tallies have been totaled up. Let's go ahead and send it up to Jennifer.
After 3 hard-hitting rounds, we go to your judges' scorecard for decision. All 3 judges scored this fight 30-27 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the Zarate shot blue corner, Jacob Nathanson.
All right, Jacob Nathanson, UFC Greenville. Happy team there, picks up the win.
Jacob, man, tell you what, you come out here, it's your first fight, and you have yourself a bit of a war. You go all 3 rounds, you had some tough spots, but ultimately you pull it out, you win all 3 rounds. Talk about the fight.
Man, it's just an awesome opportunity to live a dream of mine, so I get to go in the ring, have a fun fight. I couldn't have done that. My coaches, they did a fucking fantastic job preparing me for everything and really pushed me through this camp, and man, it's just awesome.
Absolutely. A lot of times we're in Greenville, we see UFC Gym a lot, but we're here in Kingsport, Tennessee. It's so great to have you here, but listen, a lot of people don't realize what it takes to step into the cage, especially for your first fight. The adrenaline dumps, sometimes it feels like you can't hardly move your arms. Was that the case here?
Well, the first round felt good, but man, I really feel like I kind of burnt myself out a little. The adrenaline was a lot more than I expected, but props to my coaches for really pushing me to kind of prepare for that, so really all the praise to them.
Well, there you have it. We hope to see you a lot more here at Showcase MMA. One more time for your winner, Jacob Nathanson.
All right. Dalton Goins, can you remember your first victory in the cage? Does it stand out?
I do. It was actually on Warrior.